Here we go, the majestic giant Vegisaurus herself. Jurassic World Evolution 2 released the species field guide for the Brachiosaurus. We need to talk about that.
The giant Brachiosaurus. Unlike a number of other sauropods, the forelimbs of the Brachiosaurus are notably longer than its hind legs. This causes its back to incline and gives it an appearance that vaguely resembles the giraffe.
I figured we'd get another land dinosaur, but I had actually put my money down on Stegosaurus. I wasn't expecting them to give us 2 sauropods in a row or another ceratopsian, which is why I figured Stegosaurus, but alas, I was wrong. Can't win them all. I want to address something real quick. People get really upset when I mispronounce dinosaur names and they're like, how hard can it possibly be? Well, it's very hard since I'm not a native English speaker, and as a non-native English speaker, these phonetic spellings don't actually help as much as you might think. For example, I would pronounce this as Bray, so that would make this the Brachiosaurus. In this clip, we see the Brachiosaurus, a dinosaur we're all familiar with at this point. She's beauty, she's grace, she's got a cute face. But I know for sure some people are going to be disappointed that it's not a more surprising dinosaur for the field guide. For this clip, I almost feel like the background is where the most interesting stuff is happening, but I'll focus on the Brachiosaurus first. Am I gonna keep calling it Brachiosaurus? Am I? For the entire video? I don't know. Find out. I think what we are seeing here is the sort of explorative behavior. Especially in the second clip, it really looks like she's scrutinizing her environment, thinking to herself, alright, is this enough trees? Is this enough trees so I won't freak out? That's the important question I have to ask myself. The movement does seem a little bit too jittery over here. At least to me, it doesn't seem super smooth. It almost feels like the head is moving a little bit too quickly, considering what an overall cumbersome and lumbering type of dinosaur it is. I would expect the movements of the head to be a bit slower and more controlled. The way we do see it in the final clip when they turn their heads, it's a bit slower than what she does in the second clip, and that looks more realistic for an animal of that size, but that might be nitpicking a 20-second clip right here. Other than what is possibly the habitat exploring behavior, there's not much else going on behaviorally. We do hear her beautiful call in the background. But aside from that little bit too jittery of a head movement, I do really like the movement overall. It really sways its weight with each step, and the Brachiosaurus just ends up looking properly hefty, you know? She looks like a big, thick gal. But other than walking around and looking around a little bit, they aren't shown doing much, which is a bit of a letdown. I do hope that we will soon see a species field guide that doesn't just show off a good-looking model, but actually shows an entirely new behavior, like pack hunting, for example. And with this one randomly being dropped on a Wednesday, I also have to wonder, what kind of schedule are we working with here? I was kind of expecting one on Friday again, but so far it's totally random. We got one on a Sunday, a Friday, and now a Wednesday. I do hope that there is some sort of schedule to it eventually, although it was a nice surprise. In the final shot, we can see really well that we have 3 different colors of Brachiosaurus. How annoyed are you with me right now? Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, comment down below. How annoyed are you that I'm mispronouncing Brachiosaurus? This is what you get, okay? This is what you get when you mock a foreigner for not speaking perfect English. Correction, this is what you get when you mock a petty foreigner for not speaking perfect English. Anyway, we see 3 quite distinct body colors, a light gray, a light brown, and a dark brown. It's the same threesome we see in the first clip, just in a different order, and in the second clip we just see the brown one by herself. So, we have 3 colors, but just like with the Amargasaurus, we are only seeing one pattern, which, as far as patterns go, is very understated. The most notable thing going on is some darker spots on the limbs that trail up on the side of the neck. All three of them have this exact feature, it's just much less noticeable on the dark brown one. It actually reminds me a lot of the pattern of the Majestic in Jurassic World Evolution 1. Important to note is that this pattern is a slight change from the Brachiosaurus we've seen in other screenshots. I can't really see any spotting on these, so that would be the null pattern, basically no pattern, and this spotted skin type is the first other pattern that we're seeing for the Brachiosaurus. I still hold out hope that we are going to get more interesting patterns for all dinosaurs, including the big sauropods, and also more color variation within the skin. Like, make the neck a different color or something like that. I don't want all dinosaurs to essentially be one blocky base color, where if you squint, it's just brown, just green, just beige, or whatever. It's just one color as a whole. Frontier did release another article on the forums to accompany this species field guide, just like the last time, with a bit more information about the Brachiosaurus. The most interesting thing right away is that the Brachiosaurus can be hunted and hurt by the T-Rex. If left untreated, the sauropod can bleed out and die from its injuries. This is very different from the first game, where big sauropods were basically invincible unless you threw an Indominus Rex into the mix. Now, I do like the realism that big carnivores can try to hunt and hurt a sauropod, but I also hope that these sauropods will be able to fight back in self-defense in some way. Other valuable information is that the Brachiosaurus can be part of a modest social group, but can live in an enclosure with a large overall population of other species. And they get along quite well with them. Not perfectly, just quite well. Interesting phrasing there. The dinosaur is described to have a calm disposition and are easy to take care of as long as they have everything they need. But they will square off in territory conflicts. Nice. Now let's talk about what we see in the background, which is some of the more exciting things, I would say. First off, we have the Jurassic World Hotel that we see in the background. While on one hand, I don't really mind that they are bringing back these buildings, at the same time it is also a little bit disappointing, because whenever something old is brought into the new game, it eliminates the need for them to design something new, which in turn is something exciting and fun for us to see for the first time. We don't get a lot of that yet. Same with the Innovation Center. It's a cool building, but I would have preferred it if they had massively redesigned it. Of course, hopefully the customization function that is being brought into the game will solve a lot of that, and we do get some exciting new things to look at. But yeah, the big asymmetrical Jurassic World hotels are back. Huzzah! We also see a familiar fence type in the background, namely the concrete fence. I think it's the regular version and not the electrified one, but I could be mistaken. It also doesn't matter that much if I'm mistaken or not, I think, because I get the sense that we'll just be getting both. As they acknowledged during last Friday's livestream, they are building on the foundation of the first game, so it makes sense for them to bring all of the elements back into this new version of the game, essentially. So I think we're going to see all of the fence types that we got in Jurassic World Evolution 1. We also get, and we also see in this video, the new quote-unquote metal fence with red on the bottom. I'm fairly certain this right here is an Margosaurus, which is not surprising. We saw it in the species field guide for the Margosaurus itself, that it can cohabitate with the Brachiosaurus, so nothing shocking there. I just spotted it and I was like, is that a Margosaurus? Is it? I think it is. We do for the first time see the combination of Triceratops with the Brachiosaurus. Now, what I find very intriguing and exciting about these Triceratops is that they look to have the same body color and the same pattern, but one of them has a decidedly lighter color on the frill than the other. So is that individual differences, as in you breed two identical Triceratops with the same body color and the same pattern, but they still come out with slight differences? Or, and I hope that the or is the case, can we select more than just one body color per pattern? Because I figured that's how it would work. We would choose one body color, the main body color, and the pattern. but these two trikes make it look like you choose the light beige body color, and then you can pick the gray frill for one of them and the dark brown frill for the other. If that's the case, then this skin system is turning out to be even better than I had hoped, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of it and learning more about it, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that we are going to very soon see some more explicit examples. Other than that, I don't have any observations. We're still in the same biome, we're still seeing the same type of foliage, we're still seeing the same mountains as our backdrop. The voiceover. The voiceover was again a bit disappointing. Like, oh, it has noticeably longer forelimbs than hind limbs, causing a steep incline to the back? Wow! I never noticed that. Wow. 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 Thank you for this groundbreaking information. My eyeballs had not yet picked up on that. Like with the Amargasaurus, it just felt like the voiceover was there purely to fill the silence. That is really all I can discern in this clip. If I missed anything, let me know in a comment down below. And if you want to see more analysis videos like this, subscribe to the channel. I promise I will not purposefully mispronounce dinosaur names the next time. I make no promises about what might happen accidentally. Today is the last day of Jurassic June, which also means that last weekend was the last weekend of Jurassic Riddles in the Evolution Square Discord, so I hope everyone had fun with that event. And I want to congratulate the final winners of the event, which are Savage Quesadilla and Magnetator. They both solved the riddle the fastest, and Magnetator is actually a second-time winner. So Magnetator is the only person who, throughout the month, has been able to be the first to solve 2 riddles. So double congratulations to Magnetator. And again, thank you all for playing this riddle game on the Discord. By the way, I just want to thank Sci-Fi for waking me up and letting me know that they dropped this species field guide. Otherwise, I probably would have noticed until like 3 hours later. So thanks, Sci-Fi. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy the hype.